How do you find the right information and how you make the best use of it in your business in Canada? Click here the subscribe button, set up the alert, and if you find the content of this video useful, let us know by clicking the like button. You may be interested in this video for two reasons, right? Either you want to bring your business to Canada, or your business is already here in Canada, but it may not be moving at the desired speed. You're not happy with the service providers, and you're not happy with the way your pipeline of sales is moving. In other words, there's kind of some issue with the relationships. So let's look at this. So some common complaints we hear a lot from people is that, for example, there's too much information, or I keep getting conflicting advice, or there's a lack of clarity in what it is that I need to be doing, or what people are doing for me. I don't know exactly what they're working on, but they're charging me, sending me the invoices, and I don't know what are the next steps in the path to follow. Okay, we're gonna describe at the end of this video here very detailed actions of what you can do to have this information situation in better control for you. But before, let's look at some false problems. There may be things that you think are problems, but that probably they're not problems. And let's see how these problems show up. The first thing I hear is people say, well, these guys don't want to help. They're too greedy. They're just there. They just want to get paid. They don't want to help me and give me the information that I'm asking for. Nobody gives me a straight answer. That's typically the complaint I receive. That's how it shows up. People start to say, well, yeah, they don't give me a straight answer. I ask them something, but they talk about something else, or they give me conflicting information. The second common complaint I hear is like, oh, there's a lack of creativity here. They just keep presenting to me a cookie cutter solution or some off-the-shelf solution, but they don't understand that my situation is different, that what I need is a little different. They keep giving me the same straight cookie cutter answer. The other common complaint I hear, it's about, oh, they're not doing their work. They're just pointing me to a bunch of materials. They just keep sending me links, emails, checklists, big, large PDFs that I should be reading. So there's actually 4 true reasons why you feel that you don't have the right information, especially if you are from emerging countries, right? Which is who we talk to here in this channel. So first thing is that, remember, in an emerging country, written information, it's usually conflicting. It's usually obsolete. Yeah, we see something written because it's in a government website. It doesn't mean that's the most up-to-date or that's how it really works, right? Typically, if you are from an emerging country like I am, you need to talk to somebody who actually knows the thing and decodes all these confusing written stuff that you may or may not find there complete or incomplete or conflicting. So in other words, we from emerging countries need to talk to a trusted expert to believe what's happening. The second reason, true reason why you may feel you don't have the right information is that in an emerging country, income disparity creates a situation where it's very affordable to outsource. Get somebody else to read and interpret and summarize something for me, right? So that means if I'm the business owner, I'm busy with everything, every aspect of the business, I'm not reading a checklist of something. I'm delegating that to somebody else, right? Usually even my service providers do something for me. Usually somebody else, that's a third factor, somebody else summarizes, organizes the information and become even the owner of the process, meaning somebody else is the person who is kind of managing the information flow, making sure we have everything, following up, and all that. In Canada, though, first we have a much flatter society where people actually many times cannot delegate to somebody else. They have to do it as a business owner or as the boss, as the CEO. And there's very often a very standardized approach with low customization. That's quite normal, where people already figured out the checklist, they already figured out the onboarding forms, the standardized questions, right? So these could be the 4 true reasons why you feel you don't have the right information. It's just really a cultural misalignment. You are used and you expect certain things, but you're receiving things that are a little bit different, a little misaligned. So let's look at what you do now, right? So which are the steps to get the right information and feel that you have the right information and proceed with confidence. We're going to talk about 5 action items here. But before that, let me point out that we do have our Your Business in Canada platform, which is something you can subscribe to, and we're gonna hold your hand in this process to build the success of your business in Canada. So click here in the link in the description to learn more, and it will be a pleasure to have you on board with other immigrant entrepreneurs in Canada. Okay, but let's look at these 5 action items. What you can do to make sure you're getting the right information? Number 1, you do need, there's no way to escaping this, you do need to set aside time so you can fully read in detail the materials that you are receiving, that you're being provided. Nobody else is going to do that for you. The second thing is you need, as you're reading things, you need to take detailed notes about what you are understanding and what are your doubts. Okay, so this is how it works. On this one, I don't know if it works like this. It's ambiguous what's written here. I didn't quite get it. Write down doubts. It's almost like have 2 columns of notes as you read some information. What you got it, 100%, and on the other side, write down what are your doubts. The third thing is it's very useful for you to structure what is your understanding about a decision. What type of corporation I'm gonna create in Canada? Is this type or that type? What kind of business ownership? What kind of immigration visa I'm gonna use? Or in what province I'm gonna set up? Or which of these 2 incubation programs I'm gonna decide? In any case, you're gonna have to be making decisions in this journey. Or if you're already in Canada, it's like, okay, which of these 2 business associations should I get more involved to derive more business? I don't know, like there's always decisions to be made. Very advisable, structure your understanding for decision with 2 or 3 parameters. What do I mean by that? It's like, okay, what are the key important things that I need to consider to make this decision? What's important to me? Oh, it's the cost, it's the time it's gonna take, or it's how many more people I'm gonna have to involve. I don't know. There's typically you will be able to set up 2 or 3 parameters. And knowing, and this is very important, know that you will probably not gonna be able to score 100% in all the parameters that are important to you. Something usually has to give. It's what we call compromise. You will have to make some compromises in your decision, okay? But at least knowing which parameters you're looking at, you say, okay, but I can't get 100% of this thing here, but it's okay because these other 2 are the most important, and these 2 I will get by choosing this option, right? And then the 4th thing is when asking for clarification, this could be you be sending an email or you are at a meeting talking to somebody. Present your points of understanding and doubt as bullet points. It's like organize the thought. So, okay, first, this, yes, no. If it's going by email, write as bullet points your questions so that people can go through them and say, okay, this one I answered, this one I answered, this one I answered. You need to organize your doubts like that. And then finally, the 5th action item point here, avoid trying to create a solution that does not exist. In other words, let's say you have like 3 different things here you need to decide about, but you say, well, solution number 1 is good because it's good in this regard, but it's bad about this. So I don't want this. But the other solution is going to be good in these other 2 things, but it's not good in the third. So you know what I mean? Like there's not going to be a perfect solution. But Canadians are trained. That's why we go back to the beginning of the video when we talk, oh, they only give me an off-the-shelf solution. Yeah, that's how the country works. It's highly standardized. People already thought about what are the options you have. That's very normal. We see that in immigration visas, for example. See, people say, yeah, I would like this visa, but this doesn't really apply. But can't we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that? Usually not. Usually you have to choose one of the options that are being presented to you. Same thing about incorporating the business. Well, but can't I operate in this province but use this for the other? No, right? The sooner you understand that it's very hard, almost impossible to create a solution that does not exist. And again, that's very normal sometimes in emerging countries. It's like because you don't have that standardization, and it's more like, well, let's talk and then we can figure out a way we work together. Maybe even service providers are going to be like, yeah, and here it's the other way. If you hire a service provider, they're going to give you a list and say, this is how we work. this is how we charge, and this is the scope of work. If any change to that, that's how much we're going to charge you. I mean, it's everything is pre-structured for you. So the sooner you understand that, it's the better. So avoid trying to create a solution that does not exist. There's 2 related videos here that you should watch that's going to help you in this journey. Good luck.